Very good evening, my dear children. So, hope you have written your advanced accounting paper very well. And again, I'm back with discussion on the paper by expressing my review on the paper. So, let's see whether the paper is easy, difficult, average, etc. But one thing that this time your paper is like full of unexpected things. Point number one, paper is not difficult. Paper is easy, provided if you have prepared all the areas. Something like paper is like unexpected. So let's have a look over to the paper. So coming to question number 1, which is from accounting standard number 20, which is a kind of copy paste question, and also it is a very important question, just like number change, and he is asking you to compute basic earnings for 2 years, provided you can also find adjusted earnings for the current year or adjusted EPS for the current year. Nothing great at all. And coming to this question, this is obviously easy, nothing difficult at all. And coming to question number 2, which is from accounting standard number 5, again it is a very easy question, because he is giving some set of items and he is asking to classify as per AS5, whether is it like ordinary activity, ordinary but exceptional, extraordinary activities, prior period activities, changes in accounting estimates, and changes in accounting policies. So thing here, you need to understand that some set of items were given and you just need to classify what it is, and obviously an easy question. Now moving on to question number C, which is from accounting standard number 22. Actually we are having this kind of question in our material, but in that we are having like depreciation, and also we are having preliminary expenses, which is from study material itself, but he has added some other things, even taking from some of the other books or from some different points, where we have included all these points in our material. Donation to private trust is there, items disallowed for tax purpose is there, and interest paid to NBFC in books of accounts and accrual but paid on 36/2023, where you have to allow on cash basis, which is a concept of section 43B, which is on actual payment basis. So date of return filing is not given, it seems. So you just need to assume that whether you have paid or not. Generally assume something like not paid before the date of filing the return, something like that, and you can just proceed. And conclusion, it's average. My dear children, if you have prepared AS22, that's an easy question. Otherwise, it is going to be a difficult question. But thinking from the viewpoint of students who have prepared AS22, we are claiming that this question is obviously an average question. Now coming to question number D, which is from accounting standard number 17, pretty easy question. He is just asking whether the segments ought to be reported or not, and he is asking you to state the reasons also. So where you have to go for segment assets test and you have to go for segment revenue test. Since only these two informations are there, just go with only these two informations. But if you are pretty sure at comfortable, if you are pretty sure at computing some other things, you can also go for overall revenue test. Since only these two things are available, overall revenue test is not recommended actually, because segment result test is missing. But if that is there, then it is recommended to go with overall revenue test. But with the given data, if you would like to compute overall revenue test, you can also compute the same. And finally, question number 1, it's easy. Something like question number 1 is easy to average. Now let's go for question number 2. And what is question number 2? Question number 2 is all about internal reconstruction. My dear children, there are majority of the students who will be preparing the entire topics under internal reconstruction, but this share surrender topic they will not prepare properly. Even while I taught the classes, I told you like till now this concept was not tested, so just extend your little bit of concentration towards this area. It might have chances to test. If not tested, we will be telling the same dialogue in the next sessions. Anyways, my dear children, point here is all about share surrendered concept is given, but this question is not like totally share surrendered. This point is relating to share surrendered, and this point is relating to share surrendered. Apart from these two things, everything is like quite normal. Everything is like older thing itself, nothing great, nothing difficult itself, and hence we can tell that the question is average. but of course lengthy. Reason being, he is asking you to pass the journal entries, reconstruction account and balance sheet after internal reconstruction. Of course, for a 20 marks question, it's a normal kind of question itself. So claiming that this question is obviously average, provided if you have prepared share surrendered method, this is an easy question. So final conclusion for question number 2 is all about average to easy. Now let me move on to the next question. That's all about question number 3. 3A for 15 marks, minority interest. My dear children, this is such a simple question where none of the students will be expecting that this question will be tested for 15 marks actually. But this was actually tested for 15 marks. Likewise, you are having a concept that negative minority interest shall not be shown in books of accounts as a negative figure. Or you cannot treat minority interest as an asset. You have to treat the minority interest as if it is zero. And my dear children, that negative portion of minority interest has to be adjusted against the reserves and surplus of holding company. So claiming that this question is super easy and even not lengthy. So if you have chosen question number 2, it will take time, but that extra time will be covered in question number 3. Now question number 3B, my dear children, this is like from the RTP and this is like an amendment question also. One of the students even asked the same, that there was an amendment that with respect to NBFC, but no teacher explained, like that he asked. Immediately we have given a reply to them. Anyways, but one thing, if you have gone through RTP, you can write this question very easily. Otherwise, it's difficult itself. It's a kind of theory question. Nobody will be expecting this question is going to be asked in the examination. Now, question number 4A, which is like partnership, and he had asked maximum loss method. Wherein maximum loss method, he is asking also to prepare a statement of actual cash distribution. So you might need to go with working note number 1, working note number 2, 3, 4, etc. and etc. with respect to the slots of realization. For each and every realization, you just need to go for separate table and then you can go for a single statement. But my dear children, if you want, you can prepare everything in a single statement itself also. And this question is lengthy, but of course it is not difficult. It is easy. Of course, if at all, by considering some of the average students, this is obviously average. And question number 4B. Yeah, as we all always tell that there will be a 5 marks question for sure in your examination with respect to LLP, and the same had been happened here also. To tell you that overall view for question number 3 is easy to average or difficult, because NBFC is like unexpected. Easy to unexpected, that might be a perfect thing. And coming to question number 4, it's like easy to average. Or I can also tell there will be lots of students who will be taking partnership as choice, but a wise student might take choice in partnership only with respect to advanced, but he might have prepared all the basic concepts. In such a case, this will become easy. Otherwise, this will become an average question. Of course, question number 4B, LLP. Obviously, every time you're going to get one question from LLP, wherein you can just explain the following terms. You cannot explain foreign limited liability partnership, but you can explain what is a designated partner and you can explain what is the business of LLP. So, yeah, that could be where you can claim half of the marks. Anyways, conclusion that one question will be from LLP for sure. So, it is something like easy to average. So let's have a check on question number 5, and question number 5 is like voluntary liquidation, wherein he is asking liquidator's final statement of account. And my dear children, which is like copy paste kind of question, and if you observe, the terms also did not change. The cash, whatever is remaining balance of cash, shall be distributed ratably among the equity shareholders, and calls on partly paid shares were made, but amount due on funded shares were found to be irrecoverable. So it's obviously an easy question, but students who have prepared it properly can write, otherwise you cannot write. So claiming that question number 5A is an average question. And question number 5B, so this is again an unexpected question, wherein we have covered one of the questions like bank balance sheet we have covered in the classroom discussion, and this question is like a part of bank balance sheet, wherein this question is somewhere in ACSP category 2 if I was not wrong, and which is purely from study material itself. And you're having this kind of point, this kind of point, and also you're having this kind of point, but this is a new point. And the luckiest part is that he told like how much reserve is to be made. And what is he asking? Calculate the amount of CRR and SLR to be maintained. You already know how to compute SLR. We are having one of the questions. And also you can compute the cash reserve ratio, because whatever the things that you have adopted for SLR, the same things will be adopted for CRR also. Reason being something like 4% and 25% of demand and time liabilities. The last question where we have computed something like these are time liabilities and these are like demand liabilities. We have computed, we have considered, and we have just done the question. So the question is for 10 marks, where most probably this is for 5 marks and this is for 5 marks, where you can comfortably do with this one. But this one you have to prepare the relevant schedules. If you have remembered schedules, you can solve it very easily. Otherwise it will become difficult. So it's obviously an unexpected question. If you prepare, it is very easy. Otherwise you cannot write it. So overall impression from question number 5 is like average to unexpected. Like we can tell that it is not difficult, but since you did not prepare, it might be a kind of difficult thing. And moving on to the next thing, question number 6A, PC, a copy paste question but just with number changes. Even you're having this point also. In addition, necessary cash should be paid to equity shareholders so as to adjust the rights of shareholders in both the companies on the basis of intrinsic value of the shares, which is for 5 marks. Very, very simple, and this is obviously an easy question. Now, point number B, wherein coming to point number B, yes, company is intended to buy back 80,000 shares. You're required to state whether the company can buy back those equity shares or not, and it is obviously easy because you just need to go with tests for buyback. But the biggest controversy is like about the consideration of current liabilities. Strictly speaking, current liabilities is not debt. Other current liabilities is a debt, but current liabilities might also include something like, hope you know that current liabilities include 4 things, something like short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities, and short-term provisions. Wherein short-term borrowings is obviously debt, but trade payables is not like a debt for debt equity ratio. Other current liabilities might also become a debt because it is having what is it called current maturities of finance lease obligations, etc. and etc. And the last and final one is like short-term provisions, which is not debt at all. So the biggest query lies in whether to consider current liabilities or not. Conclusion: as far as buyback is concerned, we will be considering that current liabilities, because the same kind of question is there in CMA materials, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India, wherein they have considered current liabilities. Coming to ICA, Chartered Accountants of India, there is a question in study material with respect to current liabilities, but not given like current liabilities, given like other current liabilities, and they have actually considered other current liabilities. But query is like whether to consider current liabilities or not. Conclusion: in CMA materials they have considered, and generally we will be teaching in the class to consider, because current liabilities is a mix of all these things, and better to write an assumption if you have considered or if you did not consider. So that could be like a savior point, but conclusion: better to consider. And if you did not consider, you have to write an assumption, and you have to wait till the suggested answers of ICA is released with respect to this stand. But generally better to consider. Now coming to question number C, which is an easy question. 2.5 years vesting period and exercise period is 1 year, which is like copy paste kind of question, but this time you have to pass journal entries for all the 3 years and also for exercise. So it is obviously a kind of lengthier question. Question number 4. Question number D. My dear children, we being teachers always claiming something that from accounting standard number 18, 17, 22 and 24, he might ask one theoretical question. Even I will be personally telling the same to the students in the classroom, and accordingly he is asking about the disclosure and presentation requirements with respect to accounting standard number 24. This is again an unexpected question, but it's an easy question. Coming to question number E, which is from accounting standard number 26. Same kind of question is there, a kind of copy paste question. After the 5 years, even you have got an option for renewal, and even product life cycle can also be increased for the next 3 years. Economic benefits. Software amortized in the first 3 years, and after that it may be used for another 5 years. So both economic factor can be increased and legal factor can also be increased, and you can comfortably increase the same. And he is asking you to compute the amortization cost for the next 5 years, and you can comfortably compute this one. A kind of copy paste but change of number, easy. Overall impression from question number 6 is like easy to no. We can tell it's like easy question, because one question you can take choice, wherein you can take choice with ACE 24 and all the remaining are easy, but only one question is lengthy. So what is the conclusion on the paper, sir? Very simple. If you did not prepare minority interest, you have prepared whole consolidation, and if you did not prepare minority interest properly, and if you have prepared banking companies properly, and if you did not prepare just balance sheet of banking companies, and you have prepared internal reconstruction properly, and if you did not prepare share surrendered properly, and my dear children, if you leave partnership as choice, 4 questions are in danger. So generally we will be telling to students something that from an easy chapter, prepare all. We'll be generally claiming in such way, if it is like easy chapter, even prepare the difficult and unexpected things also, then you will be saved from an unexpected question paper. And the same was happened. We cannot tell that the question paper is very difficult also, and it's average, provided if you have prepared the unexpected areas also, then it will become easy. See, the difficult chapter like amalgamation, he asked only PC. Difficult chapter like consolidation, he asked only what is it called, minority interest. Partnership, maximum loss method. Internal reconstruction is an easy chapter, but asked an unexpected thing. Banking is an easy chapter, so asked an unexpected thing. So overall conclusion, paper is a bit unexpected. If you did not prepare all the areas, even in easier chapters also, you will be facing difficulties in attempting the paper. And my dear children, one last conclusion, please please see that this impact shall not fall on the remaining examinations. All the best for your next examination. Have a great day.